Hello everybody, welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight44, aka XII. Today we're going to continue playing some more Final Fantasy XII. I actually looked at the Mystic Armor 1. We need Mystic Armor 2, which is probably right here, actually, which means to actually get up to using that pointy fucking hat, we're actually going to need to have 55 more license points. Not to mention, we also need the 20 to get the Libra. Though, I was going to anyway at least get the 15 for the Bongo. Just because that basically gives you automatic Libra. Which, generally, I go from using the Bongo to when we actually get good accessories. I just switch over to using the Libra, but I'm fine. It's just I like having the Gambit first before I can actually do so. But oh well. This is Giza Plains. Oh, this is actually an interesting little place because later on we're actually going to be having Giza Plains, the dry season, and then the wet season. And again, a lot of the areas in the game, there's always more that you can do in a second run through. Well, let's actually go and kill off those rabbits. These stupid rabbits will run away from you. They're annoying. They actually give some pretty decent actual drops, but they're gonna run from you if you try and do anything to them. Don't know if that actually does it. That's super effective and not on these guys. Oh well. They actually having magic's gonna be very useful for us. Not to mention, considering the fact that we're gonna be getting our second party member, at least for a little while. At least for the Giza Plains part. Which means best time to go after Sexterra. Now you actually sell the bongos, I believe. Yep, right here. And you also sell these. I didn't really remember you selling those, but oh well. I'll get at least 2 eye drops, another antidote. We'll leave the potions as is for just now. Basically, and I do find this kind of disturbing with all the monsters around. To make the sunstones, and you do have to talk to this woman. Eventually, at least, I believe. Or is it you? It's you that we have to talk to for the sunstone. They send out kids to go and make sunstones. That's not all that good. Yeah, one of the children, Jin, has not yet returned. He left carrying our supply of shade stones. There's shade stones, sunstones, and dark stones. The dark stones take in the energy from the sun. You take a shade stone over to the dark stone, imbued with the power of the sun, and then it turns into a sunstone. You have to use a sunstone, or have to have at least one, to use that energy to power up the crescent stone for what we need to do in the palace. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go and find them. Not to mention, go and make ourselves a sunstone.
Pinello? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same, though the answer is pretty clear. No good.
What? I'm being good.
Is that right? So then you wouldn't mind if I, say, tagged along, would you?
Huh?
Oh, don't worry. Miguelo's busy with preparations for the fete up at the palace. Why, I'm free for the whole day. Well, let's get going.
And now we have Pinello. Pinello, out of all the characters, Vaughn pretty much is the best character overall. Because while his strength isn't the best, it is within the top 3. Also, his magic power, he's the third best when it comes to magic power. Pinello, on the other hand, not at the moment, but if I remember correctly, Pinello and one of the other women that we recruit for our party, both of them have the best magic power in the game, if I remember correctly. I believe Pinello is supposed to have the best, with the other girl is second, and then Vaughn is being third. So we're definitely going to be making Pinello into an actual wizard mage type. Now, definitely be giving her that. She actually starts with white magic. Good. Don't really need anything for the accessories just yet, from what I remember. However, we are gonna want to go after the mystic armor. Damn. Oh, that is actually the point out. So we only need to go to the next one. Cool. She can almost use the pointy hat. Her health kind of shit, but oh well. Ah, damn. Probably should... No, I can't technically buy any more chromed leathers. So it doesn't really matter. Wait. I'm gonna... This is probably a waste of money, but it's only $250. Yep, take that out. Go over to Pinello and get her that. Her health's a bit too low for my liking. It's only gonna be a little bit of actual, it's only gonna be a little bit of health, but it's gonna be decent enough. Yeah, 25 increase. That's definitely worth it. Now, heal up. This is actually out of all of... Oh, yeah, this is right. She's gonna give us some items, including Phoenix Downs. Great. Yep. You can give, like she says, you can give commands to allies, but they're going to pretty much make their own decisions based on what their gambit list is. Basically, we're not going to be able to do anything with it now, but the gambit list is basically a priority list in which you make specifically per character a priority list of what they should do. And while that priority, like they can prioritize at the very top, healing, or like healing if somebody's below 30% health. If somebody is fallen, somebody has KO status, go and revive them. That can be placed first. And then they'll have the entire priority list. Like attack the leaders, whoever the leader's attacking. And there's a lot of different things you can do with it, and it's actually amazing. At the same time, you can basically... Actually, wait. I'm going to turn on his gambit, see if it actually does anything. Oh, and it does. Cool. Great. I hate having to input every single thing. Oh, well. Before we do anything, we do have to go over to... We do actually have to go and get the Shade Stone from Jin. So... Oh well. Gonna have to do that first before we can actually make our Sunstone. Now, after I do a little bit, I'm not going to be doing any grinding here. But if I do get up 1 or 2 levels here, which probably won't actually, be a thing because I do have 2 party members now. But if I do maybe get up one more level, I'll go after XII. There is two ways to getting to there's two ways for us to actually get into the Dalmasca Western Sand, which is the you know, if you go out the west gate out of Rabanastre, that's how you actually get into it. And it's at the very first place. You don't want to go and fight in the Dalmasca Western Sand just yet. You're going to get yourself killed at some point. However, there's also another place we can actually go from the Giza Plains into the Dalmasca Western Sand, which is most likely going to get us killed, so we don't want to do that. I tried that last time I played the game, just because I thought, yeah, let's go after Texterra, and I nearly got killed trying to go in that way. Now, this Slaven right here isn't all that bad. Let me think. I think he might be weak to wind. Oh well. Yep, thought so. Heal. Fucking hell. Damn it! And Pinel killed it. Oh well. Yeah. That was a lot. Okay, press up on the directional pad, you can change the leader. Which fucking sucks. Oh well. Probably should have healed with a potion, because potions heal instantly. You have to wait for the casting time when it comes to the... You have to actually wait for the casting time when it comes to the magic. We're just going to be killing all of you. Yeah, I'm not doing so. Oh, shit. Potion up. Go after the other hyena. That hyena over there is an alpha one. You can actually find the same things with, what was it called? You can find the same thing in wolves, in which a wolf will actually have an alpha wolf. I don't know if 5's actually going to be all that good against it. And I'll probably heal up Pinello. Thing is, if you actually look at her MP, it's definitely higher than Vaughn's. By 11. That's one of the reasons why she's definitely, along with one of the other women, the best when it comes to, you know, just trying to become a mage. Because everybody can technically do everything. Okay, I can actually go to Pinello and get myself Mystic Armor 2. Still have to wait a little while for Vaughn. And then we can actually get that. It is going to take down her maximum health, but oh well. Our magic resistance goes up, and our magic power goes up by 2. Isn't that wonderful? Hate those fucking bird things, though. Now, there's only one area you're not really supposed to go into. This game is basically, at this point, technically it's opened up. However, the beef gates you're going to be going across they're not going to just allow you to do whatever the fuck you want. Just throwing that out there. I'm going to show you exactly what is going to be out there for you to die from. You see those things over there? Yeah, those things with the huge fucking sword. Yeah, werewolves. Come on, Pinello, let's get the fuck out of there. I think I need a few more. This is the way to the Dalmasca Western Sand, just so you know. And those bird things are actually going to be over there. But they jump up like 4 fucking levels. In which they're like a level 11. I'm only like level 5, so that's not all that great. Not to mention, they also can use Protect on themselves. Not all that very fun to face off against. When they're definitely more powerful, have a lot more health, and can dish out the damage. Protect is not something you want to deal with when they're at level fucking 11. Oh well. Actually, wait. Select, I believe, brings up the map immediately. This way. So close. If I would, I want to show you how much more powerful those werewolves are than what we're dealing with right now. Now, one thing that does happen is if you actually go into right here, I can go back, and whatever I was facing out there will still be out there. Like if some mantis enemy has cannibalized a hellhound twice, and I go back there, that thing's gonna be still right there at the, if it was chasing me, right there at the exit, where I'm going to enter from. Yeah, he can't walk yet. He hurt himself running from monsters. So we kind of have to go and, get the Shade Stone to those Dark Stones. Now, I believe you can do a side quest, repeatable side quest, in which you actually take a Shade Stone and bring it up to make another Sunstone, and then just give it back to whoever the woman was called. I don't remember the names, really. I don't remember the names. But the Nomad girl. If we do that, it'll be pretty cool. It's not too much money, but some money is pretty easy. If you're here, you might want to do it. However, by the time I even think about doing it, it's far too late, and it's not even worth it. Now, this is a Dark Crystal. And with this, we're going to be just sapping away all of this energy. 42%. Wow, that was definitely worth it. Oh, one of you, Sleipnir, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce that either. I hate motorcycles. You definitely heard that. There's no way you didn't. Now, this thing right here is definitely weaker than it is in other places. You'll find it in 2 of the other areas. The Dalmasca Western Sand has them, and I believe the... Damn, what was it called? The... I forgot what the plains were right outside of this area. Kill the bunny. Oh, look, the bunny's right here. Okay, bunny's dead. Let's kill the other one. Okay, it didn't do anything. Now we get our Libra. With this, we can finally actually see how much health they have, their weaknesses, and all that. Werewolf, level 19, 2,500 health. Let's get the hell away from those things. Because in all actuality, when we actually do go down that way during the wet season, we're not going to have to deal with those things. Granted, we would be able to deal with them at that point However, what we face isn't actually all that bad. If I remember correctly, there's one up that way. And just so you know, there's going to be a lot of, you know, attacking enemies and shit. And I don't think I'm going to be showing off the entirety of Giza Plains. There will be another actual fight we have to do with the Cluckatrice, which is a rare mark, and that'll show off the other half of show off the other half of the area. And plus, I didn't actually show off the entire side of this one. Now, I'm definitely happy to get as many of those potions, because again, that fourth mark is going to be a bitch to kill without potions. Just because healing with cure is not a good idea in that fight. And let's just kill you before we leave this place. Now, if I remember correctly, there's just... I don't even think there's any enemies left that we haven't shown. Well, I haven't shown. I think all of the enemies... Well, except for a werewolf. We don't have that thing killed just yet. But outside of that, we've shown off every single enemy. Except maybe Rare Game. I don't really remember Rare Game. I might go after Rare Game. I don't know. Probably not. But there is that possibility. And mainly just because there's 80 Rare Game in the game. They're also hard to find. Also hard to get, and it's one of those... It's very much one of those god dang it sort of things in which, how am I supposed to know how to spawn one of these sons of bitches? Like, sometimes you have to do, you know, just a plain 10% chance it's going to be there. Sometimes it's just going to be one of those, you know, chain a certain amount of enemies of a specific type, and then it will come out. Or like one of them has to be, one of your guys has to be dying or something. Shit like that. How are you supposed to know what to do to actually get some of that Rare Game up? It's not. Some of them can be fairly hard though. In which I know one of the earliest Rare Games we can go after is, well, maybe not too hard. If you don't have Thunder Magic, because it is weak to Thunder, then it can be... Oh, crap. Then it can be kind of painful, but it really isn't all that bad. Oh well, it didn't give me anything that I wanted. I think that one was actually more powerful than the other one we faced, just because it would have given us 30 actual experience, rather than just the 26 that it did with the other one. Oh well. I do like stealing as much as I possibly can. Mainly, again, just because this game, if you don't steal, is kind of stingy when it comes with money. And again, because this game is very equipment-based, heavy on equipment, to, you know, making your party powerful, this game should have given you more money. So if you're not stealing, you're not really going to be getting a lot of money. And it really should just be one more actual Darkstone down this way. If we cut through the little village area, we would be able to find this thing faster. Now, one thing I absolutely love about this game is the fact that this game, to me, it's just beautiful. I really enjoy looking at around this game, just because one of the things that they did, mainly so that they could have, or they could do what they wanted to do, you know, have enemies on, you know, all in real time, and shit like that. They had to suffer in some areas, because this is a PlayStation 2. It's not an Xbox or something like that, which that would be far fucking more stronger, far faster system, far more powerful system. But what they did, and you can easily, if you look at Final Fantasy X and look at Final Fantasy XII, you can see the difference. This game doesn't really give you, a lot of the models don't have all that many polygons on them. If you look at the amount of polygons on the Final Fantasy X models, and like I remember, like, Lulu was made just to kind of see how far they could tax the system or something like that, and which that's one of the reasons why you never see Lulu all that much, like from the bottom down, because of all those belts that make it hard to render, if I remember correctly. Now, this game, instead of having a lot of polygons, went and the low polygon models instead had something different. They had high resolution textures, very detailed textures. And that makes this game, in my opinion, look great. I really do love how this game turned out when it comes to its visuals. Not to mention just how, even though a lot of it's flat, you know, it definitely has its ups and downs depending on, you know, what kind of area you're in. If you're in the desert, there's, you know, a lot more like sand dunes and shit like that. Right now we're technically in plains, so should be flat. But the all the flora here just makes it look quite natural. And that's one of the things this game does well. Final Fantasy XII tries to create a world you can explore. It gives you a lot of areas to explore. It gives you a lot of bosses to fight and to search for in those areas. It gives you a lot of just flavor text, and interesting flavor text too. It gives you a lot to find. Not to mention, without, you know, you do have quick teleport, and you can get airships to take you places. Outside of that, you have to walk everywhere. And it makes, especially even though you can't talk to a lot of people, something like Ramanasta, there's a lot of models in the city that at least give you illusion that it's a bustling city. And this game does a really good job at least creating a world, creating at least an illusion of a large populated world. And I like that. Really do like that about this game. Now, what we have to do, well, now is go back and I don't really remember. Is it when we get into Dalmasca that we, at that point, Penalo leaves, or is it when we get into Lowtown before... Ooh, 2 teleport stones. Great. I don't remember if it's before we go into Dallin's place that Penelo leaves. So I do want to try going after Texthera. And might as well sell all we have now. Oh, that's right. I still have that broadsword. I do have that. Get rid of that. Nope. Except for a couple of things, there's no point in keeping past armor. Just because if you're not using it, sell it because you need the money. Also, make sure you never sell your teleport stones. They're far too useful for you to ever do that. And we're not going to be able... It's not going to be able... Oh, antidote set. 3 antidotes. And our first shield. I'm going to be giving that to Vaughn soon. Let's actually look into this again. And to be honest, for Vaughn, especially considering I'm not going to be getting Mystic Armor 1, if we get shields, I can actually get that shield on, and then we can go for Mystic Armor 2 this way. Penelo, I don't really know what we're going to be doing with you, because you're going to be leaving pretty soon. But I guess I can go for another... Actually, Blind Nut was the other one. I'll go after that. Oh, look at that! We found our first actual... This is our first argument that we can actually go and get. And these are the arguments we're going to want to get. They're the health ones. That's the first priority for me when it comes to getting, or at least what we're going to be doing on the license board. I prioritize the health arguments, then the quickenings. Then, or I might actually get the quickenings halfway through getting the health. But I might not. But that's very important. After that, I go straight for the arguments. After I get all of those, I go and finish off all the magics. Then all the equipment. And then to the accessories. And lastly to the... What was it called? The techniques. Because I hardly ever use techniques. And all the ones I do use are at the very beginning. I wonder if Liber actually, because I do believe there's actually arguments to make protective or beneficial buffs instead of the no, just the buffs, no debuffs. Last longer. Actually, let's go and heal up here. We only have one of those teleport stones, and pretty much every single area does have one of those orange teleportation crystals. So that's good. We're going to be going to the left. Since Penelo hasn't left, we have to actually get to Dallin before we do anything else. Granted, I probably should have used... Maybe I should... Actually... I haven't put on Vaughn's shield yet. I should do that before we actually continue. Okay, now let's see. Offhand. That'll bring our evade up. Cool. And now to go after the next actual dude. I guess we can't use it just yet. There's, later on, they're going to set up this little, teleport, station here that Moogles run. That will actually bring us to different points in Rabanastre. I guess we have to wait until later on. Can't go into the, Can't go into the aerodrome just yet. But we can go out to the Dalmasca Wester Sand. Actually, I should probably save it. I have this feeling that if I don't save it now, I'm going to die. And then possibly, yeah, not possibly, I will actually get a game over, and I don't want that. But Sexter is actually a huge, well, this mark is a big mark because the dude, oh shit. Sometimes it's weather effects. Weather effects can be very bad, and they generally put out bad things, like elementals, and we don't want that shit. But, just so you know, let's actually look at how wolves over here have 155 health. Unlike what they were in the Ester Sand, they're far more powerful over here. I'm gonna go and save. I'll see you back right here. Wow, now it doesn't have that sandstorm. Great. All we need is another 4 actual... All we need is just another actual 4 license points. And then we can go and get the broadsword. Now, I highly recommend not exploring too much into this place just yet. Just because once you get too far into the Dalmasca Western Sand, you're not going to have a fun time at all. You're going to be ripped apart. And I wouldn't want that happening to you. Hey, look it back there. Yep. There's this huge ass wolf over there. Well, there's one wolf over here. Let's kill it. This will be our last one before we can get the broadsword. And that'll be a damage increase. Because we're actually doing less damage. Oh, and a level up. Cool. That's actually really good. But we're actually doing less damage than Penelo is. Which I don't really like. Considering the fact that Vaughn has far better strength than Penelo does, that just shows you how much better the equipment really does for you, or what equipment does do to you. Now, let's see. If you want to have a full inventory list by the end of the game, don't sell the equipment, or don't sell that mithril sword. If I remember, the one that another character has is another weapon that's pretty good for us. I'm gonna want to kill you first. Granted that it's not really gonna matter all that much, considering the fact that Vexterra does actually have quite a bit of power to him. And that one-hit death spell. So, definitely need a potion there. Shouldn't be too difficult to beat this guy. As long as we don't actually get hit by that spell, we shouldn't have too much trouble. Well, it's a technique. It's not technically a spell. But still, one-hit KO. I don't like that. Oh, crap. He's got off a combo. Cry for help. Oh, shit. Oh, good. Thank you. It was just about to do Fangs, which is the technique. That one-hit kill technique. Don't want that. Or at least, I don't know if it's full, like it will happen as much as it's very likely to happen, or it definitely has the chance of one-hit killing you. And the big thing about it is, if you, again, if you only have Vaughn in your party and that happens, no matter how weak he is, you're fucked. So, oh well. We can actually get rid of Pinello now. Not to mention, if you didn't notice, we actually got a little bit... We killed 2 there. So we probably got 3 license points for killing that mark. Certain enemies, like the Slaven, gave us, I believe, maybe 2 license points. Maybe it just gave us 1. But they generally will, give you 2. The harder, like the bigger enemies, ones that take far more, like that, I believe that dinosaur thing over in the Dalmasca Esther will basically go and give you like 4-ish around there, or maybe a little bit less, 2 to 4, I don't really remember, license points. And so they're pretty good when it comes to getting more license points, but the actual bosses and the marks will give you more and more and more license points. So it is fairly easy to start racking them up. Not to mention, there's also accessories we can buy, and which is not going to take too long. It is only like maybe 15 hours in, maybe a little more, I don't really remember, that we can actually get accessory that I'm definitely going to be putting on everybody. I'm going to be switching that up with the accessory that will actually double our experience, but there's one that doubles license points. And for a good portion of the game, depending on where I am, I just change up between the 2. If I'm in a place that I should be, and not in like a place like the Dalmasca Esther, I'll use the experience one. When I'm in a place like, I'm supposed to be, the experience will be the one. Dalmasca Esther, or a place I've already been to, I just put on the license points so I can get that. But you're going to want to get the arguments as fast as possible. That's going to be helpful. That's going to be extremely helpful. But oh well, let's finish this up. I'll call it a day.
Hey, Vaughn. It's been a long time since we did anything together. Too long. I had a really good time. Well, I should probably be getting back to the store. Actually, I was kinda supposed to be watching the place for Miguelo. And Vaughn, try to stay out of trouble. For me. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here, if something happened to you.
I'm not going anywhere, okay?
That's what I wanted to hear. See you later.
Sorry, Pinello.
With Pinello gone, we're finally back to being our lonesome. That's not going to be fun. I'll just talk to old Dal and then we can give it a break. Yeah, I got the Sunstone.
Now you'll be wanting to know how to sneak into the palace, eh? First you go to Storehouse 5. You know the one. 2 doors she has. Now the right takes Ban Ratsbane to his territorial hunting grounds in the sewer bottom. But that's not the way you'll go. No, you'll take the left door down into the Garum Scythe waterway. The waterway leads to a stair. The stair to the palace cellars. That's your way in. But don't go counting your gil just yet, my boy. Getting into the palace was the easy part. The way into the treasury is carefully hidden. That's where this crescent stone comes in. The magics it bears can open the hidden door to the treasury, you see. Listen, Vaughn, for the words I shall speak are most important, and not to be forgotten. Do you understand? The signet yearns for sunstone strength to light the clouded way. Once in the palace, you'll find the signet tile. Very important. Give to it the sun's power, and it will light your path. Very well. Oh, a warning. Be aware that if you're caught, you'll spend the rest of your short life rotting in the Nalbina dungeons. So, look sharp, my boy. And don't go running off before you're ready. Plans freshly hatched have a habit of tumbling from the nest straight into the hunter's stew pot.
Now, actually, I don't think I can buy any new equipment, but if I were you and you don't have good supply of potions or anything, you're going to need to.
Squads 3 through 6 are in place. They stand ready. So far, the Imperials haven't noticed a thing.
Then go now and hurry the others. By nightfall, we must ensure all our men are in place.
Sir.
As you can probably guess, story is about to start. So, if you haven't gotten any... If you don't think you have a good supply of potions for quick healing, if you don't have a good supply of antidotes or eye drops, Phoenix Downs aren't really going to be too big of a problem. But if you don't have any for that, you're not going to be getting... You're not going to be able to get new items for a good little while. Actually, this shop should have potions in it, right? Yep, you are down on your luck. You do have eye drops too. Oh well. Sell the mithril sword. Never gonna have to use that again. I do have the pointy cap I'm gonna have to put on. Sell the rest of all this shit. Oh, that's right. Before I actually end it, let's go and get our goods from whoever that dude is. Okay, I think this... Yep, it's a dead end. You can talk to people for some flavor text, too. Which is actually quite a lot of people to talk to. But I do definitely want to get myself that... before I forget, anyway. I want to get my rewards from beating Thextera. Now we just have to go back to the Sand Sea Tavern, which actually is a Sand Sea in this game. Don't ask how, but it's there. Not to mention, it's actually one of my favorite places in the entire game, especially when it comes to chaining. Holy shit, the amount you can chain there. Not to mention, it's also pretty good for getting money. Yeah, I brought down Thextera. Saved you and your wife, I guess. 500 gil, head guard, and a teleport stone. I wonder. What is that like just right now? Well, the pointy hat is supposed to be pretty much the same thing, except the pointy hat brings up your magic power instead of your health. I might think about that. Oh, the flowering cactoid. We can actually do this right now? Did not know that. Well, the thing about this beast right here, it's not going to be all that really hard to go and beat up. I think it might have... It might be able to do some damage to me. I don't really remember if it has any good attacks, but Oh well. See you, everybody. Until next time.